everyone, I'm Tanya.
And I'm Jason.
And we're from
the Board Game Nook.
Today we're going to give you a preview of the game Chroma Arcana by RocNest Games, and the maker is Mage. Sorry if I butchered your name.
This game will be coming to Kickstarter February 27th, 2024.
In Chroma Arcana, this is a head-to-head mage battler. It's very, very fast-paced. In about 15-20 minutes, you can get through a game. I pretty much slaughtered Jason in like 16 minutes when we really got into it and knew what we were doing.
It was fast and it hurt. Anyways, a very, very brief overview of the game. So basically, each player takes control of a mage, or in this game, they're known as egos, and there's quite a few different ones to pick. But each person will start with a mage, and then they'll get three colors, three different colors: red, green, blue, orange, blue, green, etc. Basically, mage, three colors. The decks will then be smashed together, and you'll begin your battle.
Yeah.
The game ends when one player's health points reach zero. Super simple.
Yeah, and the iconography of these cards is really, really nice to be able to see what you're doing, what you're setting up, and then also, of course, because you need to prep for the other person's turn, you can see across the table from it. So it also made that very, very smooth, I thought. But these cards that we were playing with, some of them might not be the same.
Yes, so we should mention that we were given a prototype copy to preview for their upcoming Kickstarter, and it was a pretty early version. So the game is actually, even since we got it just a month or two ago, has gone through several different iterations, updating the cards, changing some of the abilities. So that's sort of the reason why we're just doing a brief overview and not getting into the specifics of the cards.
And honestly, when we had any questions at all, or when we were kind of had some issues with some of the cards and the way that things moved with the game, Jason was in direct contact with the maker, and he was fantastic.
I can't say this is actually such a huge pro, because the game was fairly easy to learn, much easier to teach. But there were little rules, quippets, and anytime I had a problem or something came up that didn't quite make sense, I was able to actually reach out directly through Discord to Mage Shawa, the game designer, and he responded within almost minutes, I would say. You could just see that he loves his game and he believes in the vision. So I just thought that we'd mention that right now.
Huge pro. So what makes Chroma Arcana different than every other head-to-head mage battler out there, where there's a lot of them?
There's a lot.
And we played our fair share. Don't worry about that. So we have lots of points about how this does make it a little bit different than other things we've played before. And the first thing we want to mention was deck construction. So I hate it. I hate having to buy one card at a time to deck build. It just drives me crazy. And so this, for just ease of setup and ease of play, you pick a color and you get those 7 cards, and they're always going to be the same. So once you've picked your colors and your mage, then there's like, what, 26 cards?
Yeah, about 26 cards, making it very easy to know what's in your deck. And because there's so few colors, especially in the base version, 4, I believe, very easy to know what your opponent has as well.
Exactly, which is nice, because when you have your cards in your hand and then you put it down into your spell book, you do need to charge those spells with the other cards in your hand. So, you got green cards, you have to use green cards to charge that spell down there. And then once it is charged, then you can cast it. And some casting spells, they're immediate, some are shields, some happen after on the other person's turn. So for that, we thought was very, very cool. And it changes the timing and tempo of the game because of these cards that are limited in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. So on any given turn, you're going to have roughly 5 cards in hand, and the cards can be used for one of two things. You can put them down into your spellbook, or you can discard them to charge spells that are already in your spellbook.
The cost effect. What are you going to do?
The other interesting thing is that your spellbook has very limited slots. So you have four spots available in your spellbook. And at the beginning of every turn, they will automatically get a little bit of focus, which is this game's currency. So each spell basically costs a certain amount of focus before it becomes active. So at the start of each turn, each card will get focus that's already in your spellbook. So that gives you a decision on your turn to make of whether or not you want to play cards from your hand to charge the spells, or to simply put the spells down into your spellbook.
To play the long game.
To play the long game. It's basically, do I want the spell to come out really, really fast?
That's me.
Ooh, super fast tempo.
Yeah.
Or do I want to play a cost-effective, longer game? Because these games are not long.
Yeah, it's definitely not very long at all. And that's what makes it really, really nice as well, is that with these choices, and of course, like what's in your hand also makes that difference, because maybe you need to charge that green spell, but you don't have green cards, you don't have gray cards. So that changes things also. But what I liked about this game was that there's very little counterplay. I hate it. It's like, I'm going to smash you with a spell, and I want to either damage you or you block it with a shield that I know that you have. Don't come at me with, I put this card down, and then you go, oh, but I have this card, so you can't do that. But then I have this card, so you can't do that. I hate that. And this game gets rid of that altogether because, well,
not quite altogether. There's a minuscule amount of counterplay. At any given time, you're going to know what your opponent has out in their spellbook and what is going to become active for the most part. So there's and on top of that, there's no counter spell. Like, I can't just throw down a card and say, oh, I'm sorry, I cancel your effect altogether. You can already have a shield in place.
That's right.
But then your opponent knows it's there. So it makes the game extremely fast and very, very unforgiving. Also, in a lot of games, you have a large health pool, like a very large health pool that you can spend sort of as currency.
Yeah, what is it, 9?
In this game, you have 9 hit points, which makes every single hit point a very, very valuable commodity.
Yeah, in one turn, I got him with 6. It was fantastic. That game was over right quick.
Very, very, very brutal. And on top of all that is, as you're drawing your cards and playing them out, you have to always remember that you only have 26 cards to go through.
Yeah. And
once you have to cycle your deck, or once you played all your cards and you have to shuffle to draw again, you take a damage every single time.
And that heart counts. That heart hurts.
Which means that in any game, you're only going to play out maybe 4 turns each, and you're only going to go through your deck maybe 1 time, 1.5 times. With that being said, every card that's in your deck will be seen.
That's right.
Unless you get nuked within turn 1 or 2, which can happen.
Yeah, works great.
So overall, what do we think about this game?
Yeah, I know you guys are just dying to know.
I mean, with every game, there's a lot of good things and bad things. For this particular title, Chroma Arcana, we enjoyed the fact that it was really fast to play. You build your deck, you win or lose in 10 minutes, and you can literally use the same cards again. Just quickly select a different mage, and you're good to go again. You can play 2-3 times in a half an hour.
Easy, for sure.
Especially if you're using the same pool of cards.
Yes, especially since you're using pool cards, which is what I was going to say, was that it's good and bad. Okay, so like I said, I do like having the same cards because I know what to expect and I can plan and prep and I don't have to buy a single card at a time. But at the same time, they're always the same. Okay? So when you're playing with somebody like Jason who memorizes and thinks about games and dreams about games, I can only play this game with him a few times because he's going to crush me utterly and completely because he knows every single card in the deck, every card that I have and every card that he has. He knows every spell that's in the book and every minion that I might have or he might have.
She's going a little overboard. I haven't memorized everything. It's not quite that bad, but it does lead to the point that, yes, this game will very quickly become a meta, within your group of players. Like
and the only thing that would stop it is the hint of luck, or not luck, I guess, the randomness of
the randomness of drawing cards,
which Jason doesn't really like. He likes to have a lot of complete control. So when you're only drawing those 5 cards, you know, you have to choose with what you're given. There's no such thing as like discarding and picking up anymore in your turn. So I think that's one thing that you probably don't necessarily
I mean,
like.
it's absolutely fine. I don't mind drawing cards, and the decision of whether or not you should discard them versus cast them out quickly. I mean, I don't find it a tough decision, but it is an interesting decision
and
to
at
make.
the end, it doesn't matter because it's only about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you win or lose, you can just play again and go from there.
The game is also, I should mention, very, very easy to teach. So you can bring it out to lots of different people quickly. But it does suffer from player proficiency. If I've played this game before and you haven't, you're going to be at a distinct disadvantage. And I don't know if there's anything that will overcome that hurdle except playing that game multiple times with the same group of players.
And the other thing that we found with the cards themselves, like with my Mage that I was playing against Jason's, the first time I obliterated him completely, I went, oh, there's something wrong there. What happened? And Jason, he did notice that there's an imbalance for some of these cards. Now, some of them might get changed because we've been in discussion with the maker, and he was aware of the balance issues that we've had.
Yes. I mean, there are many, again, lots of different mages to choose from, and it's going to be hard to balance each mage's power against each other and which decks you pick. So some of the combinations may become overpowered, but with a small pool of cards, the players at the table can identify that issue and rectify it by counter picking. Yeah. And again, even if anything is slightly unbalanced, at the end of the day, it's a 10-minute duel.
For sure. Wow. 15.
A 15-minute duel. In the long and grand scheme of things, if something's unbalanced, it's not that big a deal because it's fast. It's furious.
Yes.
And we had a lot of fun playing it, right?
Yeah. I think that's pretty much what we want to say. We did have a lot of fun playing it. I mean, we played it many, many times, and I won a decent amount, so I was happy with that. And that makes it a win for me. How about you?
I enjoyed it, and I would definitely teach it and play it again. And I'm looking forward to seeing, especially the new expansion packs, to just change up the game a little bit for myself.
For sure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little preview we made for you guys. And
until next time, we're Board Game Nook.
Board Game Nook. Bye.
Have a great day.
Hi everyone, I'm Tanya from Board Game Nook. Please like and subscribe on Facebook or YouTube, or you can check out our website at boardgamenook.com. If you're in the Edmonton area, we run a board game rental store, so please check that out. Have a great day. Bye for now.